Okay, hello everyone. So today I'm going to be teaching you on how to basically sync ships in both a virtual sailor and vehicle simulator. I've gotten a few comments saying on how do you sync them like more realistically. So that's what I'm going to be showing you today. So first let's start with virtual sailor. So first you just load up your virtual sailor. Just load it up. And basically spawn your ship. So any ship will work for this. We're just gonna go with the Titanic. Let's go with the Titanic. And so what we're gonna do is basically I'm gonna teach you how to sync this realistically. So normally when you sync a ship, normally it's gonna sync like this. And yeah, obviously not how the Titanic sank, but we're going to be fixing that. So there's two ways to do this, or two ways that I know. So one way is first click capsize. Oh, yeah, yeah. Okay, so the audio is playing because I have the sound in there. Let me just back away from it. So what you want to do is to speed up the time, press F4, press F3 to decrease. So press F4. Sounds demonic. And so put the ship, make sure that the ship is capsized all the way upside down. Make sure that it's like this and just decrease it. Now next what you do is go to submerged. Wait about a few seconds and then click capsize again. And as you can see, we're starting to see the ship rise right here. So it makes it more realistic. And what you do is, of course, to make it sync again, you just press submerge and just speed up the time, and there you go. That's how you sync it. So that's method one. Let me show you what method two is, which is a bit more advanced. Okay, so what you want to do, go into your folders here and go to your virtual sailor folder, which is boats, which is this is the location, program files 86, virtual sailor, and then boats, and click on the folder that your selected ship, so the Titanic, and go into your boat configuration. Make sure that if this screen pops up, just click Notepad, open up with Notepad. So you go over here and you'll see all of these different components. What you want to do is go to mass, set it to a low level, like this right here, and click save, and load your ship up again, and now press submerge and speed up the time a bit. Don't speed up the time all the way or else your ship's gonna break. So there you go. Now we're starting to see a bit of rising with the ship, and so this is a way that I use. So just if you want to speed up time, make sure you don't speed up too quickly or else the game will literally send your ship into orbit. It literally will, I'm not lying. And yeah, so that's how you sync the ships in Virtual Sailor. Now I'm going to show you on how to sync them in Vehicle Simulator, which is a bit more complicated, but we'll get through it. So open up your Vehicle Simulator, go to Start. Hold on, just wait for our scenario to load, and then we'll load up an empty scenario so that, we don't have any bugs or glitches with it. So what you want to do is just go out, and you can do this anywhere, basically. So yeah, like I said, it's a bit more complicated to sync the ships in here. But let's just load up a ship. We'll load up Queen Mary, for example. We'll load up the Queen Mary. Just waiting for it to load here. Alright, so you got your ship. Now what you want to do is go over here. There's three ways. One way is to go into designs, make sure that you're in properties, vehicle properties, and basically change the crew mass to a high number. And depending on the position where you are in the ship, like we're on the bridge right here, press apply. Oh, let me set it to a bit of a higher number. Okay, so you can see the ship will flinch a little, but as you can see, yeah, that's one way. No, it does capsize. You can also use this if you want your ship to capsize upside down, like, the Poseidon or something like that. So that's just one way to sink the ship. As you can see, it's going down how you would probably see in movies. Okay, so let's load up a simple ship. So that's method one. Note this will apply to this one too. So now method two. Go to vehicles. You'll notice these three things right here: cable force, cable length, and tow speed. What you want to do is make sure that the cable force is like this, or set it to an even higher number if you want your ship to go down. Put cable length 0, tow speed 0, click ground tow, and as you can see, we have the ship obviously doing this now. Okay, so what you want to do is just go in here and just decrease the speed like this. Make sure your ship doesn't roll off. As you can see, now note that some ships, while in this position, and as you can see, this ship is getting ready to do it. Sometimes it will capsize it like this, and it will just capsize until the ship breaks. But some ships won't do that. I don't know why some of them don't do that, but they just don't. So if you're extremely lucky, you won't get this capsize in sequence. So yeah, that's just one way. And now the third way. And this one's a bit more complicated because this one is not for all ships, which this one is. So you go to design. You'll notice that you're not in properties, you're in elements. And you see all of these different points, like these point, bumper, motor, cable, anchor, all of these. And what you want to do is click on the point. So if we want it to capsize to starboard, we go to the starboard point. You'll know it when the little point is red that you selected the point. And go down all the way here and go to max float and click 0. And the ship will start to capsize or to sink the way that you want it to. And that goes for all these different points. If you want it to sink by the stern to the starboard, just make sure you have that point red and highlighted. Go to max float, decrease it, and there you go. It's sinking how it regularly does. And okay, so we're getting a bit of capsizing here. And what you do is sometimes it'll just capsize to the point where it will sink by itself, or you could just press brake, and that will basically trigger the ship to sink. And that's what mainly triggers the ships to sink in this game regularly. But note that the elements are not for all ships. Like, for example, if we were to load up this ship right here, if we go to design, as you can see, there is no elements for this one. And on how you get the elements is download an add-on where there's a ship has elements to it. And so, for example, the Queen Mary and the Carpathia that we used, they have what is in them known as this configuration right here called elements configuration. And this is what is needed to, sync this. So if a ship does not have an element, just copy that folder or that file and go to the ship that you want to sync. Just paste it in there. Respawn your ship. Then you go to your design, and note that the elements do kind of mess with the ship a bit. So just lower it to water using the loading, and you can pretty much make it look like it's normal from there. Now you have your elements in. You want to make it go to starboard, click max float, and as you can see, there you go. It's capsizing, and you can just break it from there, and it sinks like that. So you can pretty much make all sinking ships, like you can sink the Titanic the way it sank, sink the Britannic the way it sank, and all of that other stuff. So I hope that you found this tutorial useful, and I'll see you in the next video.